Time it is now. I know what time it is now. It's showtime. So the architects and the engineers.
What is up, guys? This is Ep6 of Ep6 Games. We are moving off to begin another adventure. As you can hear, things outside are dying, which means it's time for me to get going. I think we're gonna play this game in a manner of nomadic sense, which is great for Minecraft, not so good for real life. Well, I guess that's not true. Depends on where you live. Anyway, so I packed up pretty much all my stuff except the rotten flesh, because fuck that. Everything that I can carry on my back. Oop! Put my good walking boots. And we are off to go experience some more adventure. Hopefully we can find a village or something. There's clearly not any around here, so we're just gonna see what's going on. Poor chicken's still stuck on the ledge there. So which way are we headed, in case I ever want to come back here? Clouds move north, I think? Yeah, okay, so we're headed north. I should name these areas. Well, I'll worry about that later. Right now, let's just worry about getting somewhere. Ooh, boners! Damn, that's a deep hole. Don't want to fall down there. I should do perhaps a different sort of narration for this. Get some background music. Maybe something like I trudged through the swamps for many hours. Yawning chasms opening beneath me, plunging down into the dark unknown. But today was not a day for chasms. Today was a day for adventure. I stared up at the sheer face of a square mountain looming over me as impossible. Geometry and geology collided to form strange earth and stone outcroppings. The cows seemed tentative. I rested for a while by a small pond, wherein a cow happily played about in the water, then proceeded to try and lick my crotch. It was instantly disciplined for such rude actions. I could feel the trip taking its toll on me. Already I had become hungry. Thankfully, I had thought to bring along some mushroom stew, a perennial favorite of mine. And after a short rest, I continued onward. My quest then took me through a deep pine forest. The baying of sheep echoed through the trees as I progressed forward. The yawning chasms of the swamp nearby still plagued the land here, and every moment I was forced to maintain a careful eye on my footing, lest I fall. When suddenly, from out of the darkness, a shambling corpse approached me. It growled and gurgled in hideous noises, but upon contact with the sun, it immediately began to burst into flames. I could hear its agonizing grunts as I made my way onward. As the day drew late, I found myself staring on the edge of what appeared to be a desert. A winding river separated the remains of the forest from the sand dunes as they rose up before me. A river that was easily forded. For myself, but not so much for the hapless sheep I found nearby. As I climbed to the top of the dunes, I overlooked... what was slowly panning out to be not a desert, but a massive desert. Small, stunted cacti and shrubs grew about the hills as I progressed deeper and deeper into the sands. I could smell it. Something was here. And I was going to find out what. Your nose isn't what it used to be. I could almost hear my old partner's words as if he were still here. For no sooner had I thought that this desert would yield untold treasures to me, did I find that I had reached the other side. Sheer cliff faces and steep hills loomed before me again, quickly realizing this was a staple of the region. I continued. To progress further, I would have to climb the cliffs. An annoying task, but one of which little difficulty was inherent to. I reached the top of the cliff to find myself with more strange geological formations. Overhanging cliff points jutting out, strange arches, all beckoning as if something were waiting within them. However, much like the desert, this yielded nothing. I continued on the other side of the mountains, making good time over what appeared to be closer and closer a large lake or ocean. Upon reaching its borders, I saw yet another deep coniferous forest on the other side, as well as what looked like it may also have been a desert that had reached around the mountains. I opted to walk the line between them, and after I forded the river, I made my way. It seemed that this was no mere bit of leftover desert, but instead a wholly separate one on the other side of the mountains. I continued onward, though the night was pressing in about me, and I could see strange creatures rising from the ground. Nothing I had not encountered in my previous travels, no doubt, but still, dangerous nonetheless. I continued onward, hoping to find some reprieve from the monsters, and I encountered another swamp. Spiders lurked everywhere, and I tried my best to outrun them. Oh god, oh god. I dove into the ocean to escape the exploding creepers, although I feared that I had only found a temporary solution to my problem. Their explosions had left me badly burned, and my body ached. Realizing I would need a better way to travel, I made for myself a crafting table and a boat, and got ready to set sail upon the high seas. A brief moment of peculiar fear and anger welled up within me upon seeing the boat and knowing that I would be riding in it, but I couldn't explain why. I spied a pack of wild dogs upon the shore and thought that I would attempt to befriend some of them in order to help fend off the monsters in the area. My boat was destroyed. Knowing the night was late and that my boat had met an untimely end, I found a hollow and deemed that there would be where I would lay my bed for the evening. I brought my new companions with me and prepared to seal myself inside my temporary dirt tomb. I set out again the next day, following along the banks of the river, hoping to find something of interest within its course. I found myself within an underground cavern, and seemed that it was as good a place as any to continue my explorations. Up ahead I was beckoned forth by a light, which proved to be nothing more than a lava flow. After realizing my dogs were too foolish to be trusted near it, I continued onward. My supply of torches, however, was running low. I knew that I would have to make do with what little I had in order to if I planned to continue my I had found some coal on the wall and deemed fit to mine that. With the coal mined and my store of torches secured, I continued deeper into the cave to uncover its secrets. My dogs proved less than helpful. I silently swore that the creeper bastard had murdered my dog. I would kill them all for this. I would have my revenge. My thoughts, however, were interrupted as arrows began flying. Goodbye. Found... Oh. Down below me I saw what could only be an abandoned mine shaft of some sort. Cobwebs clung thick to the wood. I knew that adventure awaited me down there, and I was aiming to find it. Though I suspected my dog would not make the jump, I thought that perhaps I could leap far enough to reach the water. Now, if I were mistaken, it would be the death of me. Wah! Again, more arrows fired as another skeleton located me. I decided to locate another way down. Growling of zombies surrounded me. I decided that I needed to take a rest before I continued my exploration, and constructed a small shelter to facilitate this. After storing my supplies in a chest in my makeshift hut, I then decided to begin my adventure deeper down into the caverns. The sound of monsters was all around me, and I knew nearby death awaited me. I just had to figure out how to find it. Ah! Well, as is often the case, it found me. wandered about the remains of the mine shaft, I found much to my surprise that many of the torches still remained intact. Countless monsters roamed its remains. I heard the baying of my dog, knowing that some unfortunate fate had befallen it. But I could allow myself no time for inspection or grieving. After thoroughly establishing the area was secure, I attempted to make my way toward the chest I had found in the midst of the ruins, hopes that some other adventurer's misfortune might prove to aid me. Found the chest curiously suspended in midair, weighted down by gravel. Within it, some melon seeds and a few other of the remains of this mine's former operations remained. I could hear the chitter of spiders echoing throughout the walls, and yet I'd yet to see any of the bloody beasties. Not that I was upset with this, but it seemed strange. And there they were, strange otherworldly beings, lurking deep within the caverns. Though they mimicked the sounds of zombies, they behaved in no way similar and were believed to be entirely unrelated. I heard them called multiple things. Far walkers, endermen, stretching like long legs. The last one I suspect was primarily as a joke rather than as a serious name. But I knew that by and large, they were peaceful creatures who simply did not wish to be stared at. And for reasons unknown, placing a pumpkin over one's head would prevent assault. Yet I had foolishly gotten rid of all of my pumpkins. Thick cobwebs and the sound of spiders. I suspected I was near their nest. Indeed, this area is treacherous. The spiders were dropping from the ceiling into nearby walls. Dangerous, small but venomous. I don't want to die. After a brief rest, wherein I carefully and logically contemplated my options, I deemed it fit to continue towards the second nest that I had witnessed. I soon came to learn that in order to prevent these ambushes, the only solution I had was to destroy the nest. Stop it at its source. I knew this would be no small feat, but I drew upon my knowledge as a sapper in the Creeper Wars, and sought to tunnel my way beneath their nest and destroy it from below. Spiders, it seemed, were less than thrilled. And largely unfazed by my ingenious attempts. Hello. Don't mind me, I'm certainly not attempting to destroy your nest and rid myself of you once and for all, you insufferable pests. The nest destroyed, all that remained now is to remove the last of the survivors. I could continue on my way. Ooh. Okay, well, I think that's the last of these I'm going to do. This one's probably already ran on pretty long. If you guys want, maybe I'll continue doing some more in the adventurer, you know, tone of voice style thing. You know, the, how I was narrating before. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep... I'm probably not going to do any more of these. I'm going to try and find an NPC village and a stronghold. And if I find either of those, I'll do a video about it, just showing it off. But otherwise, I'm not going to bother, because these videos are taking a long time. They're proving difficult to upload. I don't want to edit them, and you guys probably don't want to sit here for, you know, over an hour watching them. So, this will be my last long video. Like I said, I may do some short ones if I find an NPC village, or the giant mushroom biome or something like that. I'll just keep dicking around on my single player for a little while. Although, it may come to pass that I don't ever find one of those, because I'll probably go back to playing on my multiplayer server as soon as it's up again. And unfortunately... Oh, nice. The multiplayer server, most of that server is generated 1.7, and most of the stuff I'm doing is going to be there. I'll try and do some showcase videos of stuff I've built and stuff other people have built. And maybe my friends and I will go have an adventure on the outskirts of White World. But, otherwise... Oh geez, oh geez, oh geez. But otherwise, yeah, I'm just gonna call it quits for now on this series. That was close. So I hope you guys enjoyed the look at the mine shafts and some of the other sweet things we saw here. I did see some pretty... Oh geez! Some pretty cool looking subterranean stuff here. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Anyway, I'll catch you next time for some more Minecraft.